What up, y'all? Welcome to Fight Talk with me, Jimmy Dukes, and we're back with the Empire guys. What's up, y'all?
Going on, Jimmy? How are you, man?
Good, man. What's up, Charlie, Jesse?
Jimmy, what's going on, man?
Not much, man. I appreciate you guys having me over. At another event. I'm excited.
Yeah.
So what's going on with this one? I know we had the last show um at the Memorial Gym, and it was awesome for boxing. I appreciate you guys having me out commentating. I thought I did a decent job. I hope everybody liked. Oh, everybody liked what they heard on the pay per view, man. So
Now, Jimmy,
welcome.
you're cutting yourself short, man. A lot of people actually said how good the commentating was.
Was
So
it?
we really do appreciate you coming out. You and Dom worked
Nice.
really well together.
I
So
know. Shout out to Dom. Like that, I've known of him, and like once we just started talking, we just kind of fed off each other. So it was cool. I mean, I hope that he's thought that the same thing, but I felt like we were starting to get some little chemistry, and I was learning off a lot of him, and it was some awesome fights, man, and we enjoyed it. I thought you guys put on a really good first event for a promotion. Did you guys feel like you guys did all right?
so we got some feedback. Most of it was positive. We did get a little a little negative stuff just on the time it took to start.
Hmm.
It was kind of stuff that was out of our control. We worked through it as quick as we could. But yeah, man, it was one of those things it's a learning curve for sure. There's a
Yeah,
lot of things that go on uh, behind the scenes that people just don't see. And overall, though, a lot of good positive stuff.
yeah. I felt like right when I got there, you were doing whatever you needed to do. Jackie was doing whatever. Jesse was running around doing whatever. And just real quick, if you guys don't know, Jesse over here on the side, Charlie here in the middle. Two of the three promoters from Empire Promotion Championship Series. If I'm not mistaken, like what's the actual name of the promotion so I know and everybody knows moving forward? Because I just call it Empire, so it's actually
Yeah, we're Empire Promotions, and
uh huh.
then we have the Empire Championship Series coming up,
Bet,
which is our MMA, and then Empire Boxing.
bet. See, okay, there you go. So you guys now know. So yeah, the boxing one was great, and that was the first time I've actually sat actually at a boxing event. And second of all, I got to sit ringside and then commentate, which was
Yeah,
pretty cool. And I thought everybody did good. I shout out to all the fighters who went out there and did their thing and put on a good show. And for being a first event, I thought you guys did great. I've been fortunate to be at other events and stuff, and I think everybody's kind of building off each other. And I think it'll can only go up from here, right?
absolutely. I mean, I think we had some challenges on the back end, but it was things that the audience didn't necessarily see as we're trying to figure out, this and that. But when you look at the quality of the fights that we're able to put together, I think that speaks to the quality of the event. I mean, a lot of really competitive, really good fights. Just going to the card, having to be determined, such competitive fights,
Hmm.
good boxing was taking place, a lot of good debuts. Ivy went out there and did a great job taking
Yep.
care of her business. We had a lot of good fights out there, and I think
Hmm.
the crowd really fed on that. And the other stuff, little things we're learning here and there, we won't make those same mistakes in the future. We'll clean some of that stuff up. The other pieces, I think the fighters also really took taken care of in the
Yeah.
event, which I think is pretty. They
Yeah,
all were
man.
having a good time. That's
Yeah, the
important.
facility was great. I remember that we when we first had the podcast and we talked about it. I mean, the facility was great. You guys did a good job. And for people that don't know, a lot of little things that happen in the background, y'all don't realize how much time and effort it takes for an event just to be on and then things to go in between. So I mean, it takes a lot of people. To shout out to all the people who set up the ring, set up the tables, and their family and friends are helping. Their all the different teams that are helping out. So overall, great event. But we're here for the next one. Is what I'm excited for. It's more my taste of MMA, man. So let's go into Rise of the Empire, right? So where are we fighting?
So Empire Championship Series, number one. We called it Rise of the Empire. Uh, it'll be at NMSU March 29th. Doors open at 6. Fights start at 7. We have about 12 fights set up. As of right now, nobody's falling off. Knock on wood. Um, we've got a good mix of veterans and debuters. So March 29th, NMSU at the Pan Am Center.
Hey, that's dope. I like the fact that you guys. I mean, at UTEP was a great facility. Now you guys are moving to the Pan Am. Was like moving to Cruces or going into New Mexico kind of something that you guys already had ahead of time, or did it just make sense for this time around instead of being in El Paso?
So a little bit, we we're trying to incorporate a little bit more of the New Mexico guys. It makes it easier to do 915 versus everyone if you're not in El Paso. It seems like a lot more New Mexico kids are willing to come down. We do have quite a few guys from Albuquerque. We've got a guy from Tucson. We've got a guy coming out from San Antonio. So it really is 915 versus everyone else on this card. I don't think there's anybody where it's El Paso versus El Paso yet. So
Yeah, that's awesome. I love seeing that because, and I've talked to other people about this. Like, our area is growing so much, and the fact that you guys made it a point to say, "Hey, let's go over there." Let's actually bring El Paso to New Mexico. Yeah, even though it's up the road, I mean, it's still technically in New Mexico, and it makes it easier, guys from Albuquerque to drive down the 2.5 hours, whatever to get down, and things like that. So I like that you said that, and making it a point to where like, hey, we're a promotion. It's based in El Paso, but we'll go out. We'll go out of town if we need to, if it makes sense.
Well, and I think it helps out with our El Paso guys. They still feel like they're getting some field fight
Uh-huh.
advantage, and our guys coming in from New Mexico, I think, get a little bit of that too. They can bring people in.
Mhm.
It's a nice meeting point, right? It's not that far away.
Yeah.
But really, the facility over there is also the big selling point. I mean, staff over there have been amazing to work with. A lot of really great staff for us. It's a really great top-notch facility venue. There's a lot more things for production value wise, show. So we got a lot more going for us going out to Pan Am Center. I think it's going to be exciting. Cinematic.
Nice. And then I know Charlie was sending me some videos of the walk on. I was like, "Oh shit, that looks dope." You know what I
Yeah.
mean? And for me too, like, and I'm just a nerd for MMA and things like that. And then second of all, I'm gonna be commentating. You know what I mean? I'm gonna be commentating there again, guys, and they're gonna have me out. So shout
check
out to
out
these
Jimmy
guys
Dukes.
for
That's right.
trusting me to be on the mic. You know what I mean? But I'm excited to sit ringside and get to see some guys making their debut, man. Rise of the Empire. So it's cool because I was looking through the fight card and I'm starting to know a lot of these guys in this area. And a lot of these guys I know fought, but they didn't have an official fight yet. Like they've had smokers or they've been training X amount of so it makes sense, like the name of the card. So we're gonna start from the bottom up and then we'll kind of touch base on each fighter. You guys want to do that?
Yeah.
How does that sound? All right. So if I'm not mistaken, we're starting off at the bottom of the card out of 12 fights. I mean, 12 fights, guys. How much did we get for the boxing?
We ended up with 8 fights. We had 3 fights fall out right at the very end. We had the pro, or I'm sorry, the
I
amateurs.
know, but we had all the amateur ones for you guys that don't know.
Right.
Those are, hey, by the way, guys, all the amateur fights, all these fights that we're talking, they're on their YouTube, Empire Promotions. Look it up on YouTube. You can watch all of
Yeah.
those.
Check that out.
Mhm.
Subscribe,
Yes, subscribe to
subscribe,
that.
guys,
So we had,
subscribe.
yeah, the 8 pro fights, but then how many amateurs? It was 6 or 7.
We ended up with seven
So I mean,
seven amateurs, 8 pros. That it was supposed to be 2 different shows. They
yeah,
didn't tell us all the stuff we were
yeah.
gonna have. No, but we put it together. The 7 amateurs, and they came out. They showed out.
Yeah, man. Yeah, let's go back a little bit because I was there. I mean, that wasn't it was being recorded and it's all up on the channel, but there's no audio because they were worried about the music stuff. But I mean, I was recording me and I was like, holy crap. Like I said, that was the first time I've been to a boxing event. I was there to sing ringside. There's a lot of amateur guys, and some of the guys actually fight MMA too.
Yeah.
A few of them.
You know,
Cool, cool.
so that's cool that I got to see them just throw hands, and then now like we're gonna get into some of like hobbies gonna be fighting, but yeah, we're this next card is all MMA, and from my understanding, if I'm not, it's a bigger cage.
So we went all out. We purchased a 30-foot cage.
Dang.
Um,
And what's a normal cage that what people are fighting here in the area? Just normally, not that it's a bad thing. It is what it is. What's the size normal right now?
so I believe most people are under either a 24-foot cage or a 22-foot cage. Um, the official UFC cage is 30. And since we're going big venues, we're trying to make this thing a little bit bigger. Looking into the future, it just made sense to get the big cage. Um, put our fighters in the big spot on the big stage right away. That way, it's not a shock when they go and they end up going pro,
Mhm.
or they end up going to another venue or whatever, and they're already used to fighting in that space.
Yeah. So that's the other thing. You guys always had said that going back to the whole business side and the promotion is that you guys are investing in these small things that might not make sense for a lot of other people to see it from afar. but it's something that you guys have talked about and working for to keep making it better. Like the pay-per-view thing was dope. The fact that that's even a thing, and this one's gonna be streaming. My understanding, right?
Yeah, so this one will be live on YouTube. We're gonna
Empire Promotions.
Empire Promotions 915. Don't forget to subscribe.
Yep.
Um,
And that 915 on there, otherwise you know
Yeah,
somebody else.
yeah, you'll get somebody from the UK. So,
yeah.
Yeah.
but yeah, so we'll be streaming live. Can't stop Dom. He'll be commentating along with my boy Jimmy Dukes.
Hey, win.
So yeah, we got a lot of stuff going on, man, with this card. There's been a lot of work and stuff behind the scenes that nobody will see, but everybody will appreciate.
Yeah, man. I
Mhm.
love that fact, and just little things that a lot of the fighters that I've talked to on the side and things are like, yeah. But let's start going up the card, man. And if I mispronounce anybody's name or I don't know anything, my fault. I'll do my best. You know what I mean? And if you guys ever see me, correct me because I'm taking this serious. I want to make sure I cover you guys. And if I get anything wrong, I want to make sure that I get better. As much as you guys are getting better and they're getting better, I'm getting better too, man. So starting off the card with this Fernando Ramirez, aka Smoke,
Smoke. Yep.
versus Jesus Ramos. Fernando, Mr. Smoke, when he told me his name was Fernando, I was like, oh, that makes sense. But he's like, you just call me. You know what I mean?
Yeah, his real name is Smoke. He,
Yeah.
he don't go by anything else. You can call him Fernie, Fernando. He won't pay attention. You say Smoke, he's like, yeah, what's up?
Yeah.
I heard somebody talk about Fernando, and I was like, "Who is that?"
Right?
Yeah, we have here like,
Right.
"That smoke." I'm like,
Yeah.
"Oh, that guy." Yeah.
When, when people are like, oh, your name is Jaime? I'm like, yeah. Like, I thought it was just Jimmy Dukes. They're like, no, that's actually a nickname. You know, right? But yeah. So this is the 170 match. Debut for both guys, Jesus Ramos and Smoke Ramirez, man. What can we say about Smoke that I know of is I saw him fighting a small smoker. That was the first time I seen him. Lanky,
Yeah.
tall guy, rangy.
Oh man, he's got to reach for days.
Yeah, man. He's like, when I interviewed, if you guys want to check out the interview, he has like, that's why I have a spider on my leg because I'm lanky and shit. I was like, oh damn, that makes sense.
Yeah, no, he's definitely got
The Dodge going by.
he's definitely got the range. And that guy's got arms and legs for days. Fought in a smoker before. That was actually under ours in our contender series.
Mhm.
So then he came out. It was a Muay Thai fight. He did well. He ended up winning.
And he's been training with you guys for a while. And that was the thing that threw me off. I'm like, I thought that you have been fighting. He's all, no, I haven't actually had a official amateur fight.
Yeah, we've been wanting to get him into a fight for a while, and an opportunity for him. Started the fight came there, and now finally, he's got himself in really good shape. You know what I mean? He's pounds and get himself out there ready to go. Throws them hands real well. He goes to the mat too. He also doing stuff like that. So, he's a problem.
Yeah.
Excited to see him out there. Should go out there in the cage.
Nice. And Jesus, where is he fighting out of? And you guys, if we might not know too much about this, is why this is called the Rise of the Empire. A lot of these guys are amateurs. We might not know too much about them, but hey, if you guys see them, you'll know more about them after you first see them. So Jesus, where is he fighting out of?
So he goes by Jesse. Dude is a super tough guy. He's got hands. He's done a couple of bare knuckle fights. Yeah, we tried not to just find random guys that we're trying to fight. These are all guys that are legit fighters. They're all fighting out of camps. So he spends most of his time in Albuquerque. He's come down a few times. He's trained over at SVG a little bit. Also trains with Gabe Rodriguez, El Paso Boxing. Does a little bit of everything, but he's mostly a stand-up guy, and he comes with heavy hands, tough to take down. I mean, when I say heavy hands, like if you look him up, he's got some big power shots, big knockdowns, stuff like that. So it's gonna be a good fight. Both guys want to stand and bang, but I think Smoke is willing to take it to the ground if he needs to. So it's gonna be one of those that could go either way.
Yeah, and back, how we're saying this is MMA. You know what I mean? Everybody likes to see a stand and bang, but it makes sense for a takedown. A lot of people don't understand that. Hey, these guys want to fight to win too. I mean, a lot of people say it might be boring. But at the same time, if you're getting tagged a couple times and if you know you could take somebody down and submit them or make it an issue, I mean, why not? The fact that you brought up about Jesse, right? You said
Yeah, Jesse,
Jesse.
Jesse Ramos.
That he's, and that's another thing, guys. That a lot of these guys have been training and doing things in different areas, but haven't officially had fights. Doesn't mean that they haven't fought in exhibitions and things like that. That's the thing that trips me out. So exhibition fights are not like considered amateur fight. This is a sanctioned fight. It's on record. Everything's legit. So the fact that a lot of these guys have a bunch of experience that are leading up to an actual amateur fight is awesome because you guys are going to see that just because you see the O next to the name doesn't mean that they just started training last month.
Yeah, no,
No,
these guys definitely aren't new, man. A
no.
lot of these guys got a lot of experience, a lot of I mean, even if it's a jujitsu match or a jujitsu tournament, they're out there.
Mhm.
A lot of these guys fight under the Empire banner, under Empire MMA, and man, these a lot of these guys have been training. It's not they're not new. They're 0-0, but they're definitely not new to the fight game.
Yeah, I love that. I love that. So that's going to be starting off the card at 170.
And I would
It's a
say
banger.
this is not a fight where oh, it's the start of the card. I'm gonna get my beer and
Yeah.
stuff like that. No, you want to be in your chair
Yes, I know.
because
I'm
these
excited.
guys are
Yeah.
gonna throw punches,
And
man.
that's the
They're gonna
thing
come
too,
out.
guys. If you're gonna be driving up there, you might as well watch every goddamn fight. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? You get sit there, watch and enjoy it. You'll like for me, I've become more appreciative of the local scene in the community because everybody's pulling for each other, but at the same time, like everybody's trying to win too. You know what I mean? So having these guys have put their foot down as their first fight, like boom, I had my first fight at Pan Am. I gotta win. For their their first MMA card, and it can build from there. So the fact that they're both 0-0 with their own respected experience, it's gonna be awesome to watch as a fan.
This one's gonna be a banger, man. Both guys can throw hands. Uh, one's tough as hell to take down. The other guy, if he needs to, he's gonna try. But it's gonna be a banger.
Yeah, might catch a knee going down.
yeah,
But
right.
it is what it is, right? So it's moving up to the next one. We got 150. Is the catch weight of 150? Is this or is that a weight class?
So that was gonna be a catch weight.
Okay.
Isaiah Solaita.
Mm-hmm.
That kid is tall, man. He's
Yes.
rangy.
Omotaro Sports.
He's got a bunch of experience, and the kid's 18.
Yes.
I got called by the commission. They're like, hey, these guys got a lot of fights. What's going on? What can you explain it to me? Why'd you match these guys up? I'm like, well, the kid's 18.
Mm-hmm.
He goes, how's he 18? It has 5 fights already.
Mm-hmm.
So he's got the experience. Those are the official fights that he has. That doesn't include all the stuff that he does. That kid's literally fighting every 2 week, every 2 weeks if he can. What it seems
Anytime,
like.
anywhere. I tell him, man, anytime, anywhere. Shout out to him, man. But he's fighting an up and comer Yeshua. I interviewed him. The way he is, I'm like, well, it's kind of scary because he's like nonchalant, but he knows what he wants to do, right? He's like, I wanted to be a cage fighter, so I just came and I just started cage fighting, and then he started talking about his teammates and things like that. So the way I see him, obviously, so Laite, he has the experience in too, but I mean, you can't sleep on Yeshua getting training with your guys all the time. They have the experience, and he's getting that with them along the way.
So Yeshua's been a part of the team for a while now. He was training with Handsome Muay Thai. Shout out Jack. He's been with Handsome Muay Thai for a minute now. Really just started jumping into the ground game. He's been working with Dominic Salcedo. Shout out Dom,
Mhm.
little Dom. That guy's fighting for a title. Also coming up pretty soon. But Yeshua, he's been working with him, trying to get everything going. Man, his ground game went from a crazy scramble every single time to now he's a problem. He's strong. He's a big guy. Um, he's definitely going to be a problem on the ground.
Yeah,
He likes to be real technical in the
yes,
stand-up game.
I know, and that's all Isaiah is too. Because I've seen Isaiah fight at least 3 or 4 times, and I mean he's a blue belt. He can go. He wrestles in school and shit like that. But if for stylistically, these guys are gonna probably just stand and bang from what I see. You know what I mean? Because I mean Yeshua, yeah, he's working on the ground game, but he has that Muay Thai background, and it's gonna be interesting because they're both lanky guys, right?
Yeah, man, Yeshua's has some giant hands, man. We were trying on the
But he's a
glove.
young guy too, right?
Yeah.
He is. Yeah, I think he's 20 years old too. So That's why it made sense to put that fight together. Even though Isaiah's got him on the experience, Yeshua is not new. He's done a couple smokers. He did win. He won
I
a
think one
fight.
of his last one was a
It,
knee finish
yeah, his
at
last one
a
was
kickboxing.
a TKO
Hmm.
kickboxing. So, yeah, no, man, he's got the experience. He's not new by any.
Yeah. So yeah, that's Solaita. Shout out to Solaita. I've had him on my show a couple times and see him fight. So shout out to him. And then Yeshua, I'm excited to see him do his thing and have an opportunity to go out there and showcase, his skill that he's gained from the handsome. And of course, training over there in Empire with you guys, man. So second fight of the night. That's debut for Yeshua, but obviously favorite on paper is Solaita. So we're gonna see what happens on that one. Very excited for that one. Moving up, another teammate actually of Solaita, Jed, 1-0 versus Nate, Dirty Nate,
That's nasty, Nate.
Nasty Nate Vasquez, man. At 170, man. Let's talk about this one.
All right, so my little brother, he's he's something else. He grew up wanting to fight. He had to deal with me his whole life, so he had to
Wonder he
fight.
wants to fight. Choice.
He
Right.
didn't have a choice. He's kind of like my kids. Hey, we're gonna do this. Yeah, we're doing it.
Right.
So yeah, no, he's been putting in work. He has a boxing match. He's done a couple little smokers, and then of course he's been training forever with me.
Yeah. And he has a jet jujitsu background.
Yeah, so he's been training forever with me, man. He's a little bit of a ground game. He's got heavy hands. He's gonna throw him. I'm looking forward to this fight.
Yeah.
Especially just it's one of those bucket list things that these guys come out. They're a little older. They want to put on a show, and that's exactly why we're doing Rise of the Empire.
Hmm.
Guys that didn't think they were gonna have a shot, didn't have a whole lot planned. That's exactly why we're doing it. So
Hell
these
yeah,
guys
man.
can have a platform.
Yeah, man. And I got to talk to Nate a little bit, and he was kind of just like, you know what, ready to sign up for this fight and get ready for this. He said that he's been wanting to. It just things were falling through. So it's not like he hasn't wanted to fight, right? It just now it makes sense because everything lined up because the last one fell through. And just sometimes the timing, you guys don't understand. A lot of these guys want to get fights. Something falls through, or an opponent, or anything like that. So I mean, the fact that he finally gets to be like, all right, finally, let me get in there. Versus Jed, Jed, he fought for another promotion. I saw him. I've seen him in a smoker kickbox, and then I saw him win in another promotion by rear naked choke, man. So stylistically, their body types are kind of the same.
They could probably be brothers if we're gonna be honest.
Right? Yeah. So yeah, Jed fighting out of title. Shout out to Jed, man. Really calm guy. Really just kind of like his demeanor, the way he kind of is he goes in there and just does what he needs to do, kind of thing. And Nate, with his background and everything, just he's so nonchalant. He's kind of like, but I just feel like all jokes aside, when I was telling him, I was like, I know he wants to go out there and do good.
Oh yeah, for sure. Um, just seeing the work that he's put in. Boxing last time he didn't. It seemed like he was kind of taking it a little easy. Like, yeah, whatever. We'll see what happens. This fight, he's really been putting in a lot of work. He's been, he's a fireman. Uh, Shout out EPFD. Uh, he has been putting in a lot of work. He's. It looks like he's ready. I'm glad he decided to take the fight. I'm glad that he actually put in the work this time. And he's been looking really good. Hands have been coming around, so it should be good. Speaking of Jed, man, I saw him fight at KFL.
Hmm.
And he came out and blasted that guy.
Hmm.
Took a really nice little takedown, took his back, and ended the fight quick.
Yeah, man.
Um,
Shout out to the Ontario guys. Those guys, they have a small gym, but they're beating the crap out of each other all the time.
for sure.
And that's like the thing that a lot of people don't understand, that these guys that are like you're gonna start seeing. These guys have all been fighting each other or like training, and then you're gonna just start seeing more of them in the cage over here for Empire because of all the work they put before. So now it's just like, oh shit, this guy's been fighting for this long, but now he's got an official fight, and that's quite makes sense. They're both older guys, you know what I mean? But I feel like stylistically,
Older.
right?
Older.
Stylistically, they both look like, oh, that fight makes
Yeah.
sense. Total makes sense. You know what I mean? So
Both of them can strike. Both of them go to the ground. So
mhm,
it'd be interesting to see how they decide to play that.
yeah, hell yeah. So Nasty Nate out of Empire MMA, and then we got Jed out of Otero. So let the best man win for that one. Moving up on this one, Logan Lopez and Jonathan Baca at 125. Some flyweights, huh?
So we got little fast guys again. Um, they're the fun. They're the most fun to watch. They're in and out. It's always technical. There's always that. Let's keep it going. Let's run it through. Let's back and forth. It seems like there's always that battery that just continues going, man. Jonathan Baca fighting out of Jackson Wink. He's been training for a while. He likes the stand-up game, but also likes or doesn't mind the takedowns. You know what I mean? He likes to be on the ground too. I talked to him a little bit. He's just excited to be given the opportunity and the platform again to not have to travel, 8 hours, and he also doesn't have to fight at home. Dude sold a bunch of tickets though. He's bringing a whole army to watch him fight. So it should be fun having this guy in.
Yeah, and he's fighting out of Winks from Albuquerque, and then Logan, if Lopez, where's he fighting out of?
So Logan is out of El Paso. I don't know what gym, man. He trains under his dad, Sergio Lopez. Uh, Everything that we've gotten out of him, it's been like real hush hush.
Oh,
We're not saying anything. So
that might be a benefit.
I don't know what's happening with him.
And that's the sometimes like and there's people and nothing against the guys, like some guys just rather not talk to me. They don't want anybody to know anything. They're giving an inch or nothing. You know what I mean? So I understand the fact that hey, we're ready to fight just because we're not in a well-known gym or we haven't been saying too much or haven't like that's kind of like cool or mysterious at the same time. Like oh shit, this guy might be out of nowhere be a world beater, right?
yeah, no. So he's also making his debut. I talked to his dad. His dad's like, yeah, he's ready. Ground game on point. Striking's coming up. Yeah, he actually took a different fight initially, and then we had to swap some stuff around. But him and Bach have been on, and they've known that they're fighting for the last month or so. So
Nice.
they're both pretty excited. And like I said, it's one of those 125ers that they're just going to be in and out. They've got a big cage to move around,
Oh
so
man, that's so crazy.
it's going to be awesome, man. Like just the speed and technique and stuff.
And the
that they
volume.
come- Yeah,
The volume.
yeah. It could go all 3 rounds, and they could throw two to 300 punches
Right,
each.
no shit. And a lot of things too, because I'm a small guy and I love all the small guys. The power might not be there, but if you're getting tagged 100 times, you know what I mean, with technique and stuff like that, I mean, eventually that's not good for you. You know what I mean? It might not be the power punch of a heavyweight, but if you get tagged 3 or 4 times in the right place, straight position because of the speed, that's why I like the lighter weights because of that.
And I'll tell you, those 125 still got a lot of power in those fists, though, man.
Mhm.
John Hobby hit me a couple of times.
He works with his hands,
Yeah,
or
yeah.
even that's why his hands. But yeah, that's a 125er man. Both debut, Rise of the Empire. That's exactly what it is, guys. Moving up to the next one at 180, Dresden Little versus Juan Pablo Serrano.
Don't ever call him Dresden.
Dre,
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 Dre.
Dre,
Just Dre.
Just
Dre, just Dre. Spoke to him the other day at the gym. Very well spoken guy. Seems like he knows what he wants and he's on a mission. Versus Juan Pablo.
Yeah, I think Dre, he just kind of showed up when we did our smoker and was kind of hanging out. Just kind of immediately started helping out, helping set up the cage, and just kind of joined us after that. It's been really helpful for us. He came out to the boxing event training with us, really dedicated. Guys always there, always hit the bag, improve game, and he's really unorthodox. You
Yeah,
see him out there.
I saw him working in the bag, and he did like this little weird kick. I was telling him, I was like, "Hey, man, I saw that, man. What the hell?"
What is that? Right? I think it's gonna be a really interesting and exciting and fun fight to watch because he's gonna go out there, he's gonna fight different than everybody else on the card. So out of him, and that's kind of what he really wants to do. I
Yeah.
talked to him about his fight. He says he wants to go out there to show you something.
Yeah, man, and he has a lot of experience from when the conversation I had from him. He's from out of town, and he started living here. You know what I mean? And now he has the time to focus on his fight career because he was fighting in exhibitions, and it was funny because he's like, I thought I was fighting amateur fights, but they were just
Yeah,
smokers or
smokers.
exhibitions.
Yeah.
So he has a dozen fights. Fights, it doesn't matter. They're fights. They're exhibition. They might not be like recorded, but that goes back to what we were saying is a lot of these guys have these exhibitions. If you guys don't know what a smoker is, it's usually like an in-house thing at a either a central location or at a gym, and it's an opportunity for guys to just get like a well organized exhibition with a legitimate fighter, because
Mhm.
that's like the first step for getting an amateur fight
Yeah,
to see where you're at.
kinda like hard sparring, you know what I mean?
Yes,
You go out there a bit different.
Yeah.
yeah,
You can go out there, throw really hard, and you can't be like, "Hey, why are you hitting me so
yeah.
hard,
Right.
man?"
You
Wait,
know,
because
the
we're
point
both here to
Just
test each
because
other.
it's
Yeah,
an
yeah,
actual
I'm
fight.
here to hit
yeah.
you.
And then let's talk about Serrano. I don't know too much about him. I don't know like where is he fighting from or anything like that. So if you can kind of tap in a little bit on that.
So he does have a couple smokers or exhibitions. I know he has some stuff out of Mexico. He fights under coach, I think it's Javi Ovalle. Uh, so he's got some experience. He's not going to be a brand new guy that, like, even though they're both again debuts and they've got experience. He's got big heavy hands. Uh, used to be I guess in either CrossFit or uh, just weightlifting in general. Um,
Athletic.
Man,
It's
he
gonna
he
help.
was just a big dude. He's got muscle. He's got power. He should come out and bring it. And we're just gonna see where it matches up stylistically. But both of these guys are gonna come out and throw bombs.
Nice. And is this a catch weight fight?
This one is a catch weight fight.
180.
So JP couldn't get down much more. Walking around probably like 195.
Mhm.
So he's a bigger guy. We're trying to get him to 70. Said no. Let's try to get you to 80. They said
Mhm.
no. I mean, I'm sorry, try to get you down to 75. He was like, no, man, that's too much. It's like, okay, 85. He's like, no, then I don't have to cut anything at all.
Yeah.
So we had to find a
Yeah.
place for
Well,
them to
that's good
be.
that you guys are able to do that. And then that's the best thing is like, hey, we want to work with you. Big A, work with us too, kind of thing, right?
Right.
And then that's important too, because if you guys and this is just the thing with the fighters, guys. If you want to be taken serious, you got to make sure that you make the weight or you things like that. Because these promoters, everybody wants to work with all these fighters, but you're only as what your word and what you're gonna say you're gonna do is very important. Make sure that people take you serious, because I mean, God forbid that you say this and then show up way overweight and things like that. We don't want anybody to get hurt because of weight cuts. So I'm glad that you guys are like, hey, we'll work with you, but let's try to find something in the middle, right?
Yeah, we also can't be losing fights to missed weights.
Yeah,
No.
So make weight, guys. Make
yeah,
weight.
that's very important. Safely, safely. You know what I mean? Safely. I talk to a lot of these guys on the side. I'm like, that's probably not good, but even though it works, I'm just saying. But you know what I mean? But I don't know shit about weight cutting other than what I've done. So I mean, a lot of these guys know what they're doing. They're experienced with all the people around them. So I'm sure they're gonna be fine. But yeah, another debut. Two big dudes going at it. Yeah, because Dre, my bad, Dre. It Paul dude and the other guy's strong. I mean, I'm excited to see that one. Big cage, big guys going at it.
Yeah, we're moving a lot. We throw a lot of heavy punches, a lot of unorthodox things out of Dre, a lot of heavy on. It's gonna be a good fight.
Yes, yes. All right, man. Moving up to the next one, we got some big boy.
You said
Real
big
big
dude. You
guys.
said
Wait,
big
I
dudes
said
on the
big
last
dudes.
one.
Yeah,
And they got real
big
big.
gird dudes, man. Big gird dudes. Shout out to Big Manny versus Dylan out of Otero, Manny out of Empire. Damn. Yeah.
Big human.
Big dudes. It's funny because I was sitting next to Manny the other day when we had the conversation, and I was watching the video. I'm like, we look the same size, and then he stands up. I'm like, fuck, I hurt my neck and shit. But yeah, man, let's get into this one. Back to the cage being so big. This is gonna be good for like some heavyweight guys, and Manny making his debut. 0-0, fighting already a guy that's experienced and been around in Dylan. And let's get into this one as far as like the matchup. Why was this matchup made? And if somebody looks at it on paper, it's like, why is Dylan fighting a guy that has no fights? Let's kind of get into that. Talk about the background of Manny of why it actually makes sense.
All right. So Dylan was like, hey man, I want to fight. I want to get a good match. And I'm like, it's hard to find fighters. Not dude's 6'5", probably has to cut to 265. If not, he's floating right around there.
Mhm.
So I'd be surprised if he came in under 260. A lot of people just don't want to fight that guy. He's huge, 6'5", big ass wingspan. You know, but number 4, I believe, in New Mexico, 10 in the Southwest, as far as heavyweights go. Um,
So that's why nobody wants to fight him.
yeah,
On top of his skill set, his weight, his range, and all that, his experience. But Manny was like,
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
jump right in.
yeah,
Manny, he's the workhorse. He's there every day. He works with our kids. Um, our wrestling program has grown tremendously because of that guy. Our high school kids, they've all gotten better. We've got a couple guys that are heavier, bigger, and he's always willing to jump in with them. He's been putting in work. His boxing looking a lot sharper now. But he is a college wrestler. He's a little bit on the older side as well, so it made sense age wise too, because I believe Dylan's like 30, something like that, 32 maybe, and Manny just turned 30. Man, if I'm gonna fight, I got to do it soon, and so it just made sense. I believe that Manny can handle himself in there. Uh, it's not one of those fights that I'm like, oh shit, I shouldn't have made that
yeah,
matchup, because he's so new.
yeah.
Like Manny may be new to uh, sanctioned fight,
Uh-huh.
but he is not new to fighting at
Yeah,
all.
yeah, I know. When I
You
was
know,
talking to him, he's like,
Mhm.
he had been training for X amount of years and doing this and doing that, and it goes back to what we were saying is that you're gonna see these guys that you're gonna be like, what? You guys been training? You haven't had a fight this whole time? Like, what the hell? And now Manny's gonna get a chance to actually showcase what he's actually been working on. Yeah, he's been working on all the kids and all the program and stuff, but that doesn't mean that he's not working on himself.
Oh yeah, no, he's
you know?
man, that guy's always putting in work. He's always he's one of those guys that's like, man, if that was my kid, I'd be real proud. And he does. He puts in a lot of work. He's always there. He helps out with everything he can, and he still puts in work on himself.
Mhm.
He was actually a little heavier. Right now, he's gonna come in right at 260.
Yeah, and he's a big dude too.
Yeah,
Yeah, he's a big dude too. And I saw him hitting sparring the other day, and I was like, oh damn, like because you guys are around fighters, the heavyweights hit, you hear that, and it's like oh my god. And then I'm thinking in my head, like him and Dylan, oh my god, dude, this is gonna be insane. It's like I like both guys, you know what I
yeah,
mean, but they're both really big dudes, and the fact that they could hit each other at they're both tall dudes. They have both range, even though like Dylan might be a little bit bigger and rangier. But I mean, if Manny hits him, and just like if Dylan hits him, it's just like, oh crap.
Yeah,
yeah.
Dylan's 6'5", Manny just a hair under 6'3", maybe.
Mhm.
And they both got long arms. It's gonna be
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
that's that's one of those ones that don't blink because you might miss it.
Yeah.
I think I'm really excited about that one too. I mean, you got Dylan who's 6'5". He's a big guy. I mean, he's a heavyweight, but he's built like a big tall guy,
Uh
right?
huh.
Manny is just strangely athletic for the size of person he is, right? Every time I see him around wrestle with Evan out there toe to toe with him wrestling, and he doesn't look like a heavyweight. He doesn't move like a that makes him a really good matchup against a guy tall and Dylan, because you're not going to see somebody that's slow, heavy footed,
Yeah.
to stall out. Somebody that could really move. Not expect.
Yeah, and going back with Manny's back onto wrestling, you can't sleep on Dylan. He does jujitsu too. He's a good on the ground too. I mean, the fact that they could both stand and they both respect each other's ground game, they probably just test each other's stand up more than anything. But I mean, we'll see what happens. I'm excited to see Manny go in there, and actually, a lot of people are excited to see him. He's a favorite in the area because just like he's a super nice guy. He's a super nice guy. He really he's kind of low key, but the fact that he could put some gloves on and throw some hands is going to be cool to see. And then obviously, I love Dylan to death too. I've got to know him over the past year and a half that I've been training and just got back into the whole jiu-jitsu world and seeing him around and such a positive dude, always helping his guys out. And he had our conversation. He was more like, I need to focus more on myself, and I think he's more determined after him losing his last fight. I think he saw a lot of things that he could work on in himself, and I think he has. This is very important for him to go out there and kind of showcase of, hey, this is why I started doing this, and I'm taking it more serious and taking the time to do that. And he's gonna put a stamp on why he's doing it that way. But at the same time, man, he's like, hey, I'm coming out of nowhere, and I might just ruin your home parade kind of thing. Because shout out to Dylan. We were joking. He's like, man, I'm actually get to kind of fight near home. Shout out to him. He lives in Alamogordo, so it's gonna be around the corner from Cruces. So even though Dylan might have the home field advantage, technically, what I mean, Manny's gonna bring all his friends and family and all the gym that's gonna be out there. So a heavyweight fight right there. Excited for that one. Damn.
Yeah, man, I'm excited to see him fight. It's gonna be one of those ones that just don't miss it because It's shaping up to be maybe one of the fight of the night, especially because those guys are so big.
Yep.
They're so athletic. They're not those guys that grew into
Mhm.
heavyweight and just gained a lot of weight over
Yeah.
the time. These guys are just born big,
Yeah. Big
and
dudes.
they've always been heavyweights.
Yeah.
So they're both very aware of their body and how big and how fast they can move. So it's gonna be good.
Hell yeah, man. Dope, dope. Next fight, another dynamic striker that I like. Shout out to Rudy Rodolfo Soto, man, fighting Mr. Angel at 125. I was talking to Rudy. He was like, yeah, 125 is where I want to be. And he's a lanky dude for 125, man. That fool can strike. I've seen him fight for other promotions. I've seen him in person, roll around and things like that. And that's as much as I know about Rudy. But let's talk about Angel. Where's Angel fighting out of, and what you know about him, Charlie?
So Angel Briseño, he is fighting out of Raptors MMA with Mr. Horta, Diablo Horta. He's a pro fighter out of Juarez as well. This guy is gonna be in his corner. Really, really well rounded guy. Briseño actually just fought recently. Yeah, he lost on a late sub in.
Oh, did he fight at
Yeah, he
Yeah,
fought at
okay.
KFL.
Okay, okay, yeah, okay. Dude, now that I know him, now I can say a little bit about him. Yeah,
Yeah,
that fool can bang.
so he fought at KFL about a month ago. Uh, and that guy can throw hands.
He could throw. Like,
Yeah.
I didn't know who he was, and now the fact that and then a lot of you guys, man, I'll see the name and I won't know the face, but once I kind of match those together in my head, I'm pretty good about if I've seen somebody fight. But yeah, dude, Angel went in there. He went 3 rounds and was scrapping with Chino, and they were going at it. I mean, just the fact that now I know that who Angel is, him and Rudy fighting makes so much sense.
So cool backstory behind that is Rudy and Angel already fought
Oh.
Muay Thai. Angel got the better of him on there.
Oh,
Rudy is looking for his get back, and he's slowly cut the weight. He's still a huge guy, man.
Yeah.
Like he's tall, lanky.
yes,
But he's a big guy.
Yeah.
For 125.
yeah.
It's ridiculous how much that range and stuff he's.
Okay, Rudy, crazy ass man.
But yeah, so he'll be fighting Angel Briseño at a Raptors MMA. That's gonna be a good fight, man.
Yeah, man.
And like I said, it's this time it's a little bit personal. Rudy's 2-0, Briseño is 0-1 in MMA.
Mhm.
But Briseño has that 1-0 against Rudy in Muay Thai, so
Yeah.
it's gonna be interesting.
Yeah, because you could always kind of have that kryptonite. 'Cause that you've seen that in athletics period where like you're a world beater against everybody else, and then you fight that one guy that just kind of always beats you or it's beaten you before. So it's gonna be fun seeing that because I know Rudy, and I talked to him on my fight show too. Shout out to him for his time. But the way he kind of carries himself and the way he is, fights out of SVG. I got you, Rick. SVG. I was saying SVG the other day. I got you, Rick. And no, but he's been putting a lot of time and effort there, working on his ground game and has a lot of swords to sharpen his skills with over there at SVG as well. So excited to see Rudy. Now that I know who Angel is, Angel was going forward the whole time when I was watching him
Yeah,
fight.
man. So everybody jokes about it, but like that Mexican style it's in your face. Push forward, continue going, eat the shots, and then just keep moving. Don't stop. Don't slow down. Just push forward, eat the shots, and then give them right back.
Yeah, man, because like Chino was tagging Angel, but he wasn't phased, and it went all 3 rounds, and I was very impressed by Angel because that was the first time I've seen him. And if you guys see me, I try to make it a point to try to get all the events, so this way I can start getting to know everybody. Because I'm making a point. If you guys don't know, I'm making it a point to like show you guys how serious I am doing all this kind of stuff and covering the sport. That I want to make sure when I'm calling a fight or talking about a fight, I want to make sure that I know who the guy is and I can give some honest opinion. I mean, not that it's the best, but I can honestly say, hey, I saw this guy fight. Those two guys are fighting. That makes sense.
See, I'm glad you see the vision, man. I put some work behind this.
Yeah.
Man. I didn't just make stuff up.
We were joking, saying there's a storyline, and you guys don't know it, but I kind of get the storyline. But there's a lot of stuff in the background, man. But excited for that 125. Those two guys going at it, man. Cool little backstory. I didn't know that they had fought in an exhibition fight, but the fact that they're both going in there for MMA, it's gonna be Awesome, man. So shout out to Rudy and Angel, man. That the best man win for that one. But let's go to the next one. Ooh, Mr. Devin. This is Mr. Carlos 155. Get in it.
All right, so Isimoto. We're looking for fighters. Not a lot of guys want to fight Devin. See the guy on the poster, and that guy's
His
like,
physique, I know. I told him like, look at that six pack, washboard abs and shit.
so just seeing him in pictures and stuff, nobody wants to fight that guy. He's tall, he's lanky, he's a hardcore wrestler. He hits hard. He he lost the decision to in his last fight. It was just a big stocky guy.
Yeah, Yuri, like, shout out to Yuri, man. He's not a pushover too. And Devin actually fought a guy that had 3 fights under his belt.
Mm.
That was his
And that was a short notice.
short, and he still did good.
It was a game. He's a game opponent. Yuri is a big, strong dude. But Devin hung in there with him.
Yeah.
He
It
went
was-
back and forth.
Yeah,
Had the better of him on a few exchanges, and then decided got to wrestle.
yeah, man. And yeah, when Yuri's on top of you, shout out to Yuri. Not, Devin's not a slouch either, but it just kind of shows you that when you guys start seeing these guys fight stylistically, it's MMA for a reason, guys. MMA. Somebody's tagging me and punching me and giving those front kicks as Devin's so good. If I'm gonna have to take him down to neutralize that, that's what Yuri did to get the win, man. And Yuri was putting it on him, but Devin, after I talked to him like a week after, on the side, and he was just like, man, like just he wanted to get back in there. And once I talked to him on the interview, I think him just getting that out of his way, it helped him more like focus what he needed to do. And I think he's like ready to go in there to kind of right that wrong, huh?
It's even funnier because he's like, "I'm never doing this again, never." And then 20 minutes later, he's like, "Yo, man, when's the next one?" so, so now he's been since that fight, man. He's been in there. Everybody goes to these open mats all around town. Uh, certain days, certain gyms have open mat, and man, he's been hitting every one of them.
Yep.
And he's like, I just go so that I can get experience. I can get hit by different guys. But when you throw in wrestling, man, that's turns into a whole different story.
That's his background. It's like,
Oh, yeah,
I can throw punch and kick. Well, guess what? I can take your ass down too. if I need
His
to.
wrestling is really good, man. Especially when he's gonna fight. If he fights a guy that's his size, it's gonna be a big difference.
Yeah. So tell me a little bit about Carlos. Where's he fighting out of? In
So Isimoto and JP, those guys are teammates. They're both fighting out of. I believe they train in Las Cruces with. It's Coach Ovalle. And he's got a lot of guys in there that are coming out fighting. They're not just brawlers. You know what I'm saying? That Mexican style, these two guys both have it. They're gonna come forward, both throwing punches. But Isimoto, that's everything that I've seen on him is come forward, throw punches, and don't just throw punches just to throw them. Like every single one of those is meant to put you out. He has a lot of power. It's gonna be one of those ones where if he catches you, he could end your night quick.
yeah.
So it should be a good fight, man. It's one of those stylistically ones that on paper, Devin's gonna come in, just take him down and hold him, and Isimoto is gonna come out and swing for the fences and hope he catches him.
Yeah.
In real life, Devin is looking for a knockout. Man.
Yeah. I think he wants to make it a point to know that
I'm not just
I'm not just a wrestler, and that's good too. Because everybody has a different game plan. Like I watched a fight the other day with a guy that his background was he was a purple belt in jiu-jitsu. He went in there to fight, not a single takedown, and he won the fight. And I talked to his coach after. I was like, made sure we worked on everything else. Was worried about the takedown the whole time, getting tagged, and I was like, that's why I sit right here. That's why I sit right here. But yeah, the Devin could probably wrestle and take him down, but he's like, I want to make it a point to fight. And with what's it called, Carlos coming out and making his debut out of the camp he's out, he's like, yeah, let's stand and fight. I want to fight. I'm coming forward.
Yeah, no, we definitely have some tricks and a little bit in store for the Ovalle group, JP and Carlos. They'll be interesting, really well competed fights.
Yeah, man. Friendly rivalry and competition is the best, man. I feel like if you can be like, hey, our gym versus your gym and things like that, I think it's as long as it's nothing nasty and it stays on the mats kind of thing. I love seeing that because it's like, yeah, we're gonna do this, or might do this and this, but we're gonna make it a point that we go in there and do our thing, and they're gonna go in there and do their thing. So the fact that Devin's getting his second fight as an amateur, and then Carlos coming in for his debut. I mean, if he puts Devin down, it just kind of like, oh shit. I mean, that rise of the empire for a reason, guys. Rise of the
So
empire.
so again, it's a debut, but guys got a few smokers, a few exhibitions, and he's got a few fights in Mexico that don't officially count, but he'll be coming. He has the experience, man.
Yeah,
I don't think we'll be seeing any, like, the jitters and stuff out the
yeah,
cage, but I think is really also gonna speak to Devin's second performance, going out there a lot more comfortable in the cage, striking, with wrestling, with atmosphere like that. Come out there a lot different. I've even seen that in his sparring where he's a lot more active punching, his counters, wrestling, now going into the second fight.
yeah. Hell yeah, man. Excited for that one, man. I'm excited for all of them. It is what it is, man. I'm the commentator, so I'm like, if you guys get to know me or have known me, like I watch fights. Like you guys ever see those memes of Theo Vaughn at the UFC events on the prelims? He's like second row and nobody's around him, and he's watching the fights. That's me at home on Saturdays. I will sit there and watch all
All
the
the fights.
prelims
Yep.
and everything. So I'm excited to see these guys, and I get to be front row. So I love seeing that. All right, let's go. Next one. Woo! And here we go. I know both these guys. It's cool. So we got Devin out of
Jackson.
Albuquerque,
Yeah.
Jackson's, and we got Armando out of Briggs.
Yep.
I saw Armando box at the amateur the amateur event that you guys had the at UTEP, and man, I didn't realize how big he was, and just the way he was like throwing punches. I'm like, God damn.
So he's not that big. Javi is 5'1".
But yeah, like it was cool because Armando, I saw him fight at a different promotion, and he was holding his ground too, man. And he has a lot of experience not only in MMA but in boxing. And then he's fighting Devin. You know what I mean? Devin out of Albuquerque, man. He fought another promotion. It didn't go his way last time, but he's been active. And when I talked to him on the talk show with him, man, it was just like he took that loss, burned him. It didn't bother him, but the fact I think it built that fire under his ass a little bit more. Kind of like, all right, I know how that felt. It's not going to happen again. Versus tough Armando.
Yeah. So Devin, he actually came out and fought one of our guys. He fought Cesar Sandoval. Did boo. Um, Corwin came out, man. Uh, he shocked Caesar. He hadn't been hit that hard. Uh, he took it to him. It was for a championship actually. Um, and yeah, it was a back and forth fight. He actually took the wrestling to him. Caesar is the wrestler, and Corwin's really good at wrestling.
Yeah,
Uh, his striking, I told him he's gonna throw those punches. You're gonna catch a big left. Sure enough, man, he caught that big left, and it stunned him. Like, oh shit, it's a real fight. I gotta go. And no, man, like I was really impressed with Corwin. Just the way he comes out, he handles himself. Uh, he's an awesome kid, man.
yeah,
He's overall just
He's a,
not even speaking fighting
yeah.
wise.
And just he seems like a good dude. Even after the event, after him and Caesar were talking, and again, like I love seeing that they go out there and they're both trying to kill each other, but after it's all good. A lot of these guys are all trying to chase their own dreams, and it's nothing personal against the other guys, right?
Yeah,
Absolutely. I mean, after that fight, these were sitting there talking, out, joking, laughing. Once you go through that with another guy, go out there, stuff like that, you know that person will be different. You
Yeah,
know what I mean? That's actually really cool.
yeah. And then if I'm not mistaken, and this is what Devin told me, and I didn't know, and I'm still learning. Elbows.
yeah. So New Mexico.
Yes, Devin was like, I can throw my elbows because when I fought in Texas, he was like, I was jokingly saying, it's like you still have to think about it. He's like, exactly. He's like the fact that you're flowing or whatever your combos are, whatever you throw an elbow, all of a sudden you can't throw that. And he brought that up to me during the show. So shout out to him for just educating me on that. He's like, I can throw elbows. So the fact that you guys can throw elbows is like a whole other aspect.
Yeah, so New Mexico is one of the few states they adopted the unified rules, and they run them for both amateur and pros. The only thing that they can't do is an up kick from your back to the face.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
Everything
Yeah.
else is legal. Heel hooks, uh, twisting, any kind of body lock. Um, elbows and knees are all legal, standing and sitting.
Oh,
I've
do
yet
your
to hear,
homework, guys.
one guy when they find out they can throw elbows be like, "Shucks, darn!" Everybody's like, "Elbows?
Yes.
Yeah, elbows.
That makes
Yes,
like because
everybody
that
wants to
makes
do
it
it."
different. Yeah, because being
Yeah,
on top, Jesse, right? I mean, you can instead of doing this, all of a sudden you could just do this. Yeah. So the fact that that's even a thing and another weapon for both of them. Armando has and Armando has 9 amateur fights. Holy crap!
Okay, so he also fought Caesar. He fought him in at another promotion in Las Cruces. Didn't go Mondo's way, but that kid is tough, man.
Yes.
He's also fought another one of our guys in Daniel Loam. Shout out Loam. Um, he and he took it 3 rounds.
Yes.
They went back and forth. It was bloody.
Yeah.
He was beat up a little bit. He just kept coming, throwing bombs at Loam,
Yeah.
and
I remember
it,
watching that one at the KFL. Yeah,
it's
man.
impressive,
Yeah.
man. They just he has a chin on him. He stands up. He keeps it coming. The pressure that he was able to continue with. It's gonna be that's a good fight. That's like one of those fight fans.
Yes, exactly. Because Armando, it might not go his way as far as looking on paper, but it goes back to the experience and the quality of fighter. I mean, you could be 10-0 and fight 10 tomato cans. You could be
You
0-5 and five killers and barely lost, right? So I mean,
Mhm.
the way you look at the Armando fighting out of Briggs too, they have a great camp over there. They have a bunch of things going on, and the fact that now that I see like it on paper like that, I'm like, oh damn, Devin's gonna come back, do his thing, and Armando's gonna keep riding that wave of him. He fought at that amateur boxing, and he looked great. His hands were great. You know, I felt, in my opinion, I told Javi on this, I was like, damn, that fool was way bigger than you. He's like, yeah, well, I'm 125. He's like way bigger, but Armando looked solid. He just was punching hard and moving forward. And the times I've seen Armando fight, he's coming forward. So the fact that Devin wants to fight, Armando's gonna give it to
Yeah, so it was actually really hard finding Corwin a fight, man. Devin is he's only 1-1, but he's
him.
people know who he
Where he
is.
trains, and like it goes back to that saying, it's like people know who he is, like because of the camp and then the quality of fighter that they have at those gyms, right?
Yeah, no, he's gonna be problems for a long time. I'm looking forward to having him on this card and hopefully a lot more of our cards in the future.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, he's both of these guys are there to put on a show. Both of these guys think will come forward, and neither one of them is scared to get hit, and neither one of them is scared to take one so
To
that
give
they can
one,
give 2 or 3.
yeah,
You know what I mean? Like they're gonna come with it. It's gonna be a really good fight.
yeah, man. I feel like that one's like, I mean, all the other fights look good, but as far as like in my head stylistically, that looks like a fight of the night for me. Like back and forth, if they're the way they both have chins and they're both willing to come forward, that's gonna be like one of the fight of nights in my for me. Mentally, I'm like looking at him like, dang, crazy. But yeah, man. Shout out to both of them. Like I always said, man, let the best man win. Shout out to Devin, Armando, and we'll see what happens there at the 135 weight limit. Moving up. Speaking of Javi,
Big hobby.
Javi versus Andrew. Man, both these guys have some decent experience. I know Javi's had wrestling experience forever. I don't know too much about Andrew, but let's get into this 125 out here, Jesse. What can we say about Javi?
Yes, man. Javi is really kind of our first fighter on our fight team that we were able to bring in, fighting for us for a while, brought us along. He's went out to big shows and won.
Mhm.
Brought it home for us. So I can bring him now here at home. He's always around our gym. He's always helping out, train up guys. So some of the reason I think we've had the success and obvious participation, keeping us in together. Same season. So really excited to see him go out there and put on a good show for us. Throw those hands.
Right? And what do you know about Andrew, Charlie? I don't know about Andrew at all. I've been like he's 3-0 for a reason.
So Andrew, he fought here locally against one of the prospects at CFC. Fought Gabriel Peinado. That kid, if you don't know him, he actually did a boxing event. He was on our boxing event. It's one of the
Oh,
amateurs.
okay. I know I've seen him fight now.
And now Peinado, he'll be at CFC again. So he's one of those guys that he always brings it. Andrew Lay came out and he brought it to him.
I
Um,
think he finished him with a submission, if I'm not
he
mistaken.
did submit him. Um, it was one of those things. It was everybody was there to see Gabe, and Andrew Lay. He came out and took the crowd away, man. Um, Took him down. From what I've heard, is that guy is as strong as a 185-pound guy,
And
What-
this is a 125,
and
right?
he's fighting at 125.
God damn.
He's a big guy. He shout out Toro Tech and Coach Anthony Burchak.
Oh, he's fighting at. Oh man, so he's out of two. Oh man,
So
you know.
he's a 10th planet guy.
Oh man,
Anthony Burchak, I've known him for a while. He's
shout out Tony.
yeah, Tony. He's the man. But he said, "Hey man, I'm looking for a title eliminator or a title shot." And I said, "Perfect, I got this guy."
Yeah.
So this one will be a title eliminator.
Ooh.
Winner will get a title shot at our next event, which we'll go over a little bit or go over more in a little bit.
Yeah.
But winner will get a title shot at the next one. Um, Andrew Lay though, he's man, that guy he's gotten better at his hands. I've seen some videos of him lately. His hands are moving now way more. But from everything I've heard, is this guy wrestles like a 185-pounder. His jujitsu is top notch. I think he's a purple belt. Um, he's gonna be problems for a lot of people. Javi is he's like my son, man. I'm trying to push him and make sure that we get the best fights available before he tries to go pro. And if if he wants to show that he's ready to go,
It's a perfect
this
opportunity.
is the way you got to go, man.
Yeah, and I was talking to him on the fight show too there, and I've known Javi for a little bit too, and got to follow him the way he carries himself. I feel like he's doing everything right to get better. You know what I mean? The his last performance, he went in there and won by submission. You know what I mean?
He
So
did.
after wrestling, but then having the kickboxing, the Muay Thai, and everything else, and then now he's mixing in the jiu-jitsu and he's good at wrestling. So the fact that those two guys are fighting together makes so much sense on paper. And the fact that you brought that up as a title limiter is also exciting too. Because like, hey guys, this fight, whoever wins is gonna get a title shot.
Yeah, so we have a lot of plans coming up. But either one of these guys could go in and win. I'm gonna be honest. I'm pulling for Javi. Obviously, he's my boy, but um, he's gonna have to bring it.
Yeah,
Andrew is no slouch.
yeah, he's 3-0 for a reason, right?
I'm definitely not gonna set our guys up with cupcakes.
Yes.
Just to just to feed them and hey, here's another one. We're gonna test them. We're gonna test all of our guys. And this is definitely gonna be one of those keep it going, keep it rolling. They may go all 3 rounds.
125ers back to the batteries.
uh, you know, we've been putting a lot of work in his gas tank, so hopefully, Andrew's doing the same.
Oh, I'm sure.
And
I'm
and,
sure.
and I know Tony, and I know he's pushing him.
Yeah.
Um,
And that's what you want to. I'm glad that you brought that up. Is that you want a lot of these guys that all the coaches and and things like that. You want to test your guys so they they can judge and see how they feel too. Because at the end of the day, they want to see where their fighter is. If they're fighting a legit guy and they fall short, they can see. All right, well, now we know where we're at. We can kind of build up for that. Same thing for Javi. It's just like he's riding this wave and he's on his way to a pro. If he puts a stamp on this, it makes sense why he should just keep going. You know what I mean? And respect to both of them. The fact that they both from well respected gyms, they both are really great on the ground. They can throw hands if they need to. 125 batteries.
oh man, it's gonna be it's gonna be exciting. So you said Corwin and Mondo might be the fight of the night. Um, if it's not Manny and Dylan on a big knockout,
Yeah.
it may be one of these two guys in the. So this is our amateur main event.
Let's go. Oh yeah, that's right. There's amateurs and pros, guys. Oh, so this is the top of the amateur card.
Yes.
Nice. And that's like, okay, cool. That makes eliminator guys 125. Javi versus Andrew. Come on,
This
man.
it'll mean something. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? It's not just another fight. It's not just hey, let's set it up and see what happens. It's this next one. I wish I'd brought a belt. Belts are gonna be yeah. So we'll debut that belt next show.
Nice, man. So shout out to both of them. I know Toro Tech. Shout out to Tony out there in Tucson, and obviously Hobby. He puts that time and effort at the different gyms on his hands, wrestling with you guys, kickboxing, at handsome. So I mean, this, you know, the way that you put this card where it needed to be. I mean, that fight where it needed to be totally makes sense. Every fight kind of builds off of each other. That's gonna be the end of the amateur fights, but I like the fact, and I forgot that there's pros on this shit.
We got two pro
Let's
fights.
go.
So we are the only sanctioned promotion to have pros and amateurs. Uh, we have promotions in Texas and New Mexico. So uh, everything on our card counts. Everything shows up. Everything's legit. We have pros though. Pros, there's two local guys and two guys coming from a little ways away. Yeah, they're gonna be fun, man.
Yeah, man. So let's get into the co-main event. Pro fight, 155ers. Mr. Xavier Martin versus Stefan Wagner. If I'm mispronouncing your name, my bad, dude. So let's get into what do you know about Mr. Wagner?
So Wagner is another guy out of Jackson Wink. Um, um,
That's a good way. That's a good way to start for me to like
yeah,
not know who you are, just like off the bat. All right, cool.
another guy out of Jackson Wink. He had a really good amateur career. He only has one pro fight, so he's looking to build his pro card now. Um, but yeah, he's a legit guy. One of those guys that stays in shape. He's always ready to go. Should be a good fight. He's got some hands. Um, I think he was like 4-1 as an amateur.
Yeah, he has 7 amateur fights. Yeah, man. Ooh, no, hold on. 4 wins in a row. Yeah, 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 he was 4-1
Yeah. So
as an amateur. So going to okay, that makes sense. And then now he's go. This is his second pro fight though. Uh, Fighting against Xavier. So he's fighting out of there. It's coming down. To kind of put his stamp in his uh his pro career going, man. So dang. And then let's go talk about Xavier a little bit.
he's fighting out of Briggs. Um, he's in high school, good wrestler. Made state a few times. He placed at state. He was always a really good wrestler. Um, and he's been working hands a little. He likes the big. He likes pick him up, take him down, slam him, bring him back again, pick him up and slam him. He's definitely a crowd pleaser. Um, more more excitement and cheers he gets. It seems like it gets
Gladiator.
it seems like it gets him going, and he's more willing to throw a little harder. Put a little more caution to the wind and say, "Let's go."
Yeah,
He'll bite down on his mouthpiece and throw hands. And then he also can wrestle.
yeah,
So worst comes to worst, he's gonna try to wrestle him.
yeah.
But I've seen him fight a couple times. And he's a legit pro.
Yeah, man. I was talking to him on the I had an interview with him too, and I didn't like I had saw him at the KFL, and I was like was cornering his homeboy. And then when I started talking to him, I was like, "Oh yeah, I did see you, but I didn't know." And this is just like a lot of guys that I'm meeting, I'm like, I just see them and I have no idea that they train or they fight. And Martin was like, "Yeah, man." Xavier was like, "Yeah, I fought. My last fight, I went up to Colorado, got the job done. I was kind of on a skid, but he was like, I'm starting to take this more serious." And the fact that I didn't know he was a pro until he told me, I was like, "Shit, that's so dope." He's like, "Yeah, man, I'm really go in there." And the fact that he's fighting Wagner out of Albuquerque, right?
Right out of Jackson Wink. It's gonna be a good fight. It's one of those ones where you just set up two guys that are willing to go and throw, and then they go and they do what they're supposed to,
Yeah,
right?
and these are 5 minute rounds for the pros, right?
5 minute. It'll be 3 5 minute rounds. Yeah.
Yeah, and then for the amateurs, it's three threes.
3 3.
Dang, that's bro. And I think I'm not. I think I want to say I've seen Wagner walking around. Maybe probably hangs out with Devin. If I'm not, I messed that up my bad. But yeah, I'm excited for that 155 pro fight, co-main event. Shout out to both of them, and Xavier, thank you for your time on the show and stuff like that. And Devin, I'm looking forward to getting to know you and see what happens there, man. Let the best man win at that co-main, man. Good job setting that up, guys. But
It should be a good fun fight, man.
last of all, top of the card. Just get into it.
All right,
Ricky,
Ricky Savage, man.
Ricky Savage.
That's a most local people know him. Most Most people know him
Shout
at
out Rick
SVG Academy. Uh, he's he when he found out we were doing pro and am, he was probably the second guy other than Javi. Said, "Hey man, you guys got amateurs and pros?" I said, "Yep." Let me on that card. Let me headline it. Let me be on that card. Uh, Talked about it. Threw some stuff around. Uh, it made sense for him. Made sense for us. Especially starting out. It's a good. We're not trying to do things small.
yeah,
That's why we're at
the Pan
the
Am.
Pan Am. Why we're streaming stuff live. We've done paper. So he said I'm ready to go big. His record's not super impressive,
Because he's fought killers.
but if you see the guys that he's fought, all those guys are 4-1, 10-1 in the UFC. A couple guys are fighting on Fury, big promotions that are well known. All those guys that he's fought, they're all on there. So he's not a slouch by any means. His amateur record, he's probably 5-1, also 4-1, something like that. He won a belt. Um, he's a legit contender. Now we're just hoping that his career gets jump started, and we can continue building him up and continue keeping him on our card. See how far we can push him.
Yeah, man, and shout out to Rick, man. If y'all don't know him, I've known him for a little bit of time. Not that we're best of friends, but we started training at 10th at the time, and he's gone on and had a great amateur career, great business, had his gym going. He's brought up a lot of fighters in his gym, and I think it's cool hearing that he's like, all right, it's my turn, to get an opportunity and do it because I know he works hard too. I mean, every time I've been around Rick, such a positive guy. The way he carries himself is very important to let everybody know that he's as serious as all of his fighters are and things like that. But he's gonna be one of the local favorites. But obviously, let's get into Joseph a little bit and what you know about him.
So Joe Belos, looking for a fight. A lot of guys didn't want to fight Ricky, or they wanted a lot of money to fight him. And it's like, hey man, let's pump the brakes a little bit.
Yeah,
But Joe said, yeah man, I'll take that fight. Sure, let's do it. Again, Joe, he's one of those guys that's got a lot of fights. Um, he's got heavy hands. Yeah, every time I've talked to him, he's like, "Hey man, I can't wait. I'm excited. Yeah, I can't wait. I
that's what
can't
you
wait."
want to hear, right?
And he's like, "Hey man, I'm selling some more tickets. I got more tickets. I think I'm gonna sell some tables." So it may be Ricky's home field, but Joe is actually from El Paso.
Okay,
He moved out to San Antonio, and he's been out training out there for a while now. And it looks like he's just ready. It's one of those things that, hey, I put it on the back burner for a little bit. I got to fix things. I got to get everything right. And it seems like that's what he's doing. Is he's taking some time off, fixed everything that was wrong, or any kind of injuries or whatever that were lingering. He's gotten all that right, and it looks like he's gonna be coming out ready to throw some hands, um, uh, get really get it going, and he's also looking to jumpstart his pro comeback and see if he can right some of those wrongs.
Rise of the Empire. Rise of the Empire makes sense. I mean, I know Rick hasn't fought in a little bit, and let's say Joe hasn't fought, so it makes sense, and it goes back to your guys' matchmaking where you guys are talking to. All right, this fight makes sense. They're both wanting to get back in there, and I'm sure they're gonna both try to knock each other's head out, right?
Crazy thing is, both guys are like, no, for sure, I'm gonna finish it.
Yeah,
And then I
Kind
talked
of
to the other guy,
confidence
and
on
he's
both
like,
sides.
no, no, for sure, I'm finishing it.
I love to hear that.
And so I hope that both guys come out and just what they've been saying, and look for that finish.
Yeah,
Those finishes, they're cool, man. They're you get to see something that doesn't happen very often.
yeah,
Some guy separated from conscious, whether it's being choked out or being knocked out. It's one of those scary things. Like, oh man, luckily there'll be a ref in there to stop it.
right. Nobody's gonna die, guys. It's a
And
sanctioned fight.
and then we wake up, drink another beer together, and have fun. You know what I mean? This is kind of what the whole thing is about. The whole storyline. Uh, that's why we're calling it Rise of the Empire. We're not here to just be a part of the Southwest fight scene. We're here to just be this other small thing that's going on. We're trying to take this to the next level.
Love that. The fact that those and these this is a 135 fight.
This is a 145.
140. Ooh,
Yeah,
shout
Ricky.
out Rick, man. Rick looked big. I mean, I don't know anything about Joe, so nothing against you, bro. I'm looking forward to seeing you fight. You have an record for a reason, experience for a reason. But you guys setting that up as the main pro fight for your opening MMA card, is awesome. I'm excited to see all that. Um, damn, you know what I mean? That 145, both of them coming out off a small layoff. Life gets in the way. The fight game is very unforgiving. A lot of you guys don't understand. There's not a lot of money in this. So a lot of guys are making sure that they're in the right place to make sure they can pursue their fight career. And I always tell you guys, make sure you guys support local. The fact that these guys are putting their time and effort into this and, support them, buying a ticket, showing up, just
Uh,
talking about it. Like for me, that I've been always such a fight fan for UFC and Strike Force, Pride, and I've never taken the time to ever watch anything locally until last August. And ever since then, I'm like, my priority is to start watching and following people here in this area, man. And the fact that you guys are putting this card together and putting some guys together that make sense, I'm excited for it.
yeah, man. Top to bottom, the card it's stacked. Some of these guys are debuters, but none of them are new to the game. You know what I mean? Everybody has some kind of experience. Everybody has fights ready to go. Everybody's ready to go. You were talking about tickets. If you guys go on and buy tickets, do me a favor and pick your favorite name. You don't have a fighter.
Yeah,
You're
pick
just
one.
pick one. It's gonna help them out.
Yeah, don't buy a ticket without picking a name, right?
Right.
And why is that important, Jesse? Why is that important to pick a fighter?
Yeah, so that helps out the fighters with them getting their say. So that you got to make sure you pick somebody out. If you don't have a fighter you're specifically pulling for, pick someone. Maybe you heard talking about somebody like their story, buy into them, and come support them.
Yeah,
at the fight.
yeah, and that's the thing too, guys. You're gonna see, and I've shot a lot of guys that been hitting me up like, "Hey, man, whatever you're doing is dope. I love to do this, and I want to make sure that you know, just like these guys are giving these fighters a platform. I want to make sure that we give you guys a platform, the fighters, and then this gives an opportunity. Like doing this bridges the gap between the fans, people in the stands, to get to know the fighters, get to know the stories of why they fight and who they are before these events. So the fact that these guys are setting the card up, I come in and get to talk to them about the fighters and the story, and then the fans and people who are supporters of the area or the gyms get to know who the hell they're watching what before they go in, man. Instead of like showing up to a card and be like, "Who's this guy? Who's that guy? Oh, did you guys watch the talk show with Empire and Jimmy? I know this guy. He did this. He fought this guy and things like that." So that's the point of why I want to make it a point that we have these conversations. And I appreciate you guys always want to involve me in your guys' events.
And you got to check out those interviews that Jimmy's been doing. Really good stuff he's laying down.
Let's go.
Yes, good questions. People are showing out some really good stuff. Some guys are getting a little philosophical out there. But
Some guys are just a little dry, but that's the best part. It's like some people can relate to fighters because of the personalities, right?
Yeah.
So you don't have to be big and bold all the time. Maybe the shy, quiet guy, like Joshua, was gonna show you guys, like, "Ooh, damn, this guy just said he wanted to fight, and here he was fighting, Solaita that's been fighting for a minute, and there they go back and forth. You had no idea about both of them, and now you're supporting one of them because we talked about it.
Yeah. You get a chance to see what these guys are trying to prove too. I mean, everybody that's out there, Eyes of the Empire, they've got something they want to show you, want to prove something to themselves, families, to the crowd. They got a lot on the line there.
Yeah, man. So like we were saying, like Charlie was saying, you guys go to buy. If you guys could show up and watch the fights, hell yeah, buy a ticket, pick a name. How Charlie says, or how Jesse's like, pick a name. You heard the story. I kind of like this guy. I'm gonna pick him. You know what I
Mhm.
mean? And it helps them directly in their pockets. These guys do everything they can to take care of the fighters in the back, before and after. You know what I mean? But the way the fans and people can help fighters directly is by buying those tickets like that directly. And send out. Reach out to those guys. A lot of those guys are willing to work with businesses or sponsorships that make sense to them. You'd be amazed at how willingly a lot of these fighters are willing just to work with anybody that makes sense. And you can support them and they can support you. It's always kind of a win-win, right, Charlie?
Oh yeah, definitely. Most of our guys, they're not in this for money. They're not able. We're not able to pay amateurs. Um, even in the pro side, you're not making millions of dollars. It's those select few that get to go up and make the big money. Um, so if you guys buy tickets and you pick a fighter, just pick your favorite. I'm sure that with the 25 stories that we've showed or that we've told, it's easy to pick one.
Yeah.
Just go out, pick a guy, come out, support him. Even if you don't know him, it's not a big deal. Just go out and have some fun. Uh, March 29th, the Pan Am Center. Uh, the more people we get in, the better it's gonna be for the next show.
Yeah,
Um,
and this is just the beginning, right? I know we you guys had the boxing, now you got the MMA, and you guys are gonna slowly start putting more and more events. It's not like a one-time thing, right?
Not even
no,
slowly. We already got our next event.
yeah, so
There's no slowly with
I want
Charlie.
to bring that up.
There's no slowly with
Yeah.
Charlie.
yeah, no, so we're hitting it running. We already have our next boxing that's looking like May 24th. Em, Empire Championship Series number 2 going to be in June. We're already building the story. We're already putting everything together. Uh, we've already started talking to some of the fighters to see if we can get some guys locked in for that number 2. We obviously need to see how some of these
Yeah.
fights play out because title eliminators, pro fights.
Yeah, you're gonna get some 0-1 guys. They're gonna start fighting the 1-0 guys against each other, right? Start building up.
And yeah, so we do have there's a lot of plans. There's a lot of 125ers on this card. That's not a favorite division because they're so big and strong. It's my favorite division because these guys just move. They're technical. They throw hundreds of punches in 9 minutes. It's crazy to see how fast and how technical some of these guys are. Some of these guys are really good at wrestling. Some of these guys were just small their entire life. I mean, no offense, Jimmy.
Hey man, it is what
But,
it is.
some of these guys were small their whole life.
Yeah.
And they weren't gonna play football. They
Yeah.
couldn't play basketball. I mean, yes, you can play.
Yeah,
But at a high competitive level, it's hard to get there at 125. But right now on these cards, there's not much higher that you can go. It's pro, and then you start getting into some of these bigger promotions where we're trying. That's where we're trying to get you guys. We're trying to get you ready and make you feel like you're gonna fight in the UFC. That was one of the bigger reasons that we picked a big venue.
Yeah.
Hopefully we can fill it as much as we can. Then we're gonna stream it live on YouTube. Empire Promotions 915.
Make sure you follow.
If you haven't started following, make sure you subscribe. Also, we need you guys to click and subscribe.
Yes.
Okay. The more subscriptions that we get, the algorithm and all that other jargon comes forward. He can probably talk.
Yeah, I'm a nerd. If you guys know my content career, if you guys don't know or watching me for the first time, I've been creating content for 6 years and did the video game thing, loved it. Started doing podcast stuff, loved it. Then I just started following combat sports and getting to know some of the guys. And then Charlie, a while back, was telling me about all this stuff that you guys are seeing. Charlie told me about this like last summer. And I said, whenever you guys get that going, I would love to be a part of it somehow. So the fact that he reached out to me before everything started getting going kind of gave me an idea to kind of start getting things together because I was like, I feel like with my experience and like things that I know about the whole social media and then the fact that I love being around combat sports, I can feel like all of us can win and just having these conversations like that and bringing promotions like you guys and you guys putting a platform for all these guys that are gonna be out there trying to bust their butt, and follow their dreams with all this going on, right, Jesse?
Absolutely. I mean, I think it's a great opportunity. We got our fighters, we got our commentators, folks doing the announcing work, ring announcement. It's a venue for everybody to pursue that passion that they have, whether that's something they just want to have an opportunity to go into the Pan Am Center and be able to call out names and have that moment,
Hell yeah.
or they want to be able to go out there and they want to be able to talk about fighting and build up their repertoire,
Yeah.
and kind of follow that dream. Everybody's getting that.
Yes,
that point to do that.
everybody's, and that's the best part too. Like, I love doing this, and this is cool for me. You guys wanted to put on a great card. You guys want to do that. An experience, an opportunity for everybody to go out there, man. But I'm excited. Fast enough. 29th.
Hey man, it's only a week away.
A week away. Yeah,
That's great.
yeah, it's a week away.
Man, those days go by.
I know, dude.
It's like, all right, we got a little bit of time left.
Yeah.
We're good.
Like, oh shit.
No, it's in 2 weeks. Oh crap! No, it's in a
When
week.
the cage arrived yet?
Hey, don't worry about that. Man.
Yeah,
Don't worry about that.
It's on its way.
big venue, big cage, big personalities, big fights. I'm excited, man. I'm excited, guys.
It's gonna be a good time.
Yeah, man.
It's gonna be a good time.
Man, make sure you guys 29th take the drive up Las Cruces. Shout out to all the guys coming down to the Cruces, and shout out to these guys willing to go up there. You know what I mean, and making it a point that hey, we want to make sure that we're known in multiple places other than just El Paso. And I respect your guys' we talk a lot of shit like in the back and stuff like that, but the fact that you guys, all jokes aside, are trying to make sure you guys are doing the right things and learning from each other and other promotions and making sure your fighters by doing small things like the gloves, the back, the facilities, the venues. Like I respect that, and shout out to you guys too, man.
Shout out to Combat Corner. These are some of the best gloves that I've been able to use. Takes care of the guy's hands. Used them in boxing as well. Nobody had any knuckles or anything broken. Some of the best gloves that you can really use. We're not just here to try and make some. Believe me, if we were doing that, but we are trying to take care of the fighters. We are trying to make sure they're fed, make sure they're taken care of as much as we can, and those gloves will hopefully keep everybody's hands safe.
Yeah,
because that's how some guys are going to make it at some point.
Yeah,
and so you start breaking those knuckles and breaking those fingers, it could shorten a career.
Yeah, no bueno for sure.
So yeah, we do have we got our cut man coming out. We've got
let's talk about like all the pre stuff. All the pre stuff. The stuff that comes before the big stuff.
Oh. Hey now.
So what's the itinerary for the coming weekend?
Okay, so shout out to Stay Fit Fitness in Las Cruces. Those guys are allowing us to host our weigh-ins there. They've got saunas, they've got a full gym, everything that you could need in a gym in Las Cruces, right around the corner from the Pan Am Center.
Let's go.
So
making it easier for everybody.
So shout out to those guys for letting us come in, being a sponsor, being a help and really reaching out to us as well and making sure that we fighters safe.
Yeah, man. So the weigh-ins are early. So the weigh-ins are early for on a point, and I like you make that a point. Why do you have the weigh-ins so early?
So again, we're trying to take care of the fighters. I want to do weigh-ins early so that our guys are on weight and they've got multiple extra hours just to get back into regular shape. We know a lot of these guys are going to be cutting weight.
Part of the sport. Part of the sport.
Yep. We know that that kind of stuff is going on, and although we don't encourage you to drop 30 pounds, some of these guys are going to come in, weigh in at 125, and then fight at 145.
Right.
Fight at 150. So we want to give them the most time to rehydrate, and do everything else. And the reason that rehydrating is important, it stops a lot of concussion. A lot of knockouts.
That's like you're deteriorating your body as far as liquid. My understanding is less liquid in your brain.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? So
less cushioning and stuff. So that's why we do it early. So we did the same thing with boxing.
Yeah.
And you saw a lot of those fights went really well back and forth. There was one knockout. Shout out Big Manny.
Yeah, Big Manny.
That dude but that was a body shot. So
hey, knockout. But yeah, the weigh-ins are early, and then let's talk about the ceremonial weigh-ins. Where is that going to be at?
So then 6:00, we're going to have a short press conference. We'll have a few of the guys up there. If you guys show up, it's at Hooters, also in Las Cruces. I think there's only one there. It's on Foothills, I believe.
Yep.
And so
30 Foothill.
Yep. Come in, ask some questions.
So if you get a chance, come in. Ask a little bit.
I like that you guys are doing the press conference. You guys that are like fight fans and stuff, you get an opportunity to go talk to these guys and see them and see, get involved more. I like that you guys are doing the press conference. Even if it's something small, it's an opportunity for them to showcase who the fighters are, people to show up and ask questions, right, for media and things like that.
And you don't know who eventually someday, even in short order could end up being in.
Yeah.
Right? Or could be that big name. This is an opportunity to come in,
right,
ask a question. You know what I mean? So like, remember, like, man, 2 years ago, that dude was fighting on Empire, and
Yeah,
I when I asked him a question at the Hooters, and
yeah,
now he's out there,
doing his thing
asking for
wherever he's
ways for
at.
UFC. Yeah.
Yeah,
So you
man.
don't know who's gonna end up there. You
Yeah,
might
man.
not
So
meet him.
shout out to them too for having you guys out there,
Yeah.
man.
Then we'll have our ceremonial weigh-ins.
And
That's
everybody
awesome.
will be like not cranky and fed.
They'll,
Yeah.
That's
they'll,
another thing too.
right? Yeah, no, they look like they're more filled out again. It's not that skeleton that's like,
Yeah.
everybody's filled back out.
Mhm.
Everybody has had a chance to eat, and it just it's a good show, man. You don't want to see that
Yeah,
stuff.
yeah,
That guy
yeah.
dying
That's
on
like
the
the worst thing.
scale,
And
got to
all the
jump on.
fighters, all jokes, take care of yourselves. Make sure you guys cut weight correctly, man. They're making sure that you guys have all the uptime to make sure you cut weight. Go in there, feel like crap, but then a couple hours later, feel fine. You don't have to worry about being dehydrated for too long of a time and get some food in you and square up your opponent, man. I'm excited to be out there. I'll be out there too at the press conference. I'm sure I'll be talking to some folks. But once again, 29th, Rise of the Empire.
Right.
Pan Am. Staple in the Southwest. If you guys are Pan Am is an awesome place. From UTEP, Pan Am, two back to back, big venues. I'm looking forward to being out there to call the fights. I'm gonna do my best, guys, to commentate you guys. I'm excited to do so. This will be the first time I commentate an MMA fight. They gave me opportunity to do the boxing one. Dom carried me like a backpack all the way through all of them, but I feel like I'm gonna feel more comfortable doing the comp with the MMA. Plus, I know a lot of these guys and I've seen them fight and I know them personally, so it's gonna be cool. It's gonna be exciting and sad on both ends because my heart goes both ways for a lot of these guys. Like I feel for all these guys. A lot of guys, when I've been at other fights, and this is just a small story for me, I see everybody going crazy after a knockout, and I'm like sad. Like, why are you sad? I'm like, I know the other guy. I know how much time and effort goes in.
Yeah.
So I'm like, damn. I'm like, I'm excited for that guy, but I'm sad for this guy, and that's just part of the sport, right?
It's true. I mean, even when I see my guys knock the other guy out, it's like, yes, that guy went and did it. Now let's try and make sure that guy's
Yes, the guy's okay,
not
right?
hurt.
Yeah, man. Fuck yeah, man. Well, thank you guys so much for your time and involving me in your guys' promotion and bringing me on as a commentator. I hope that I can continue doing what I'm doing as far as like the commentating side and bringing a little bit of aspect as far as that. And respect to you guys wanting to stream the fights, giving everybody an opportunity, even from out of town or from here, they can't make it. Follow Empire Promotions 915 on YouTube. We got videos up there already from all the boxing stuff. So go check that out. Get to know some of the guys. So Hobby was fighting on there. Armando was fighting on there. So it's cool that you could watch some of them on there. And these guys are building this promotion from ground up. So you guys want to be a part of, them, continuing forward. Like, hey, remember 5 years ago when we fought at the Pan Am? Now we're fighting over here and doing this. And I've been following these guys for XYZ. So I'm excited for you guys' event and future.
I think the big thing lately has been brick by brick. So just come be a part of it. Exciting. Got a lot of stuff going on. We've got a little bit of stuff for everybody. So come out, support Jimmy Dukes Gaming. If you haven't started following him, I don't know what you're waiting for because he's always putting out great content.
Appreciate
Follow
it.
Jimmy Dukes Media.
Yeah, Jimmy Duke's Media. So if you guys don't know, my whole background is from gaming. Everybody's like gaming, and then you see it like my gaming channel has morphed into just me. So I have all different types of stuff on there. I do vlogs, I do jitsu stuff, I do videos, I do background stuff. I started doing commentating because they gave me the opportunity. So like we're bringing all different types of content for you guys. They're gonna have a bunch of stuff, videos on their page. So even if you guys can't show up to the fights, like watch the videos, follow them on social media. Jimmy Duke's Media is all my combat sports. If you guys want to follow me there, it's focusing on just the fighters. It's not about me on that page. So if you guys don't know, Jimmy Duke's Media on Instagram, it's all about combat sports, boxing, MMA, jiu-jitsu, whatever. That's all there. Want to follow me, Jimmy Duke's Gaming, as far as the vlogs and podcast stuff? I got that over there, man. But thank you for that shout out too, bro.
You got it, man. Empire Promotions 915 on Instagram, on YouTube, Empire MMA, the Empire MMA on Instagram. Follow us, subscribe. You're already watching the videos. Just hit the subscribe button.
Yeah, man. They're already gonna be there, right?
It'll help us out tremendously.
Yeah, it's a
It'll
win-win,
help
guys.
him out. everything that every little thing that you guys can do. We appreciate every little bit. So
Yep. Final words, Jesse.
Hey man, check that out, but also go check out the fighters pages too. So when you
Oh,
go
yeah, there
on
you
there,
go.
you
Shout
check
out
out
to
Jimmy
them.
Dukes,
They
you
have
check out
all
them.
the. My bad,
That's
Charlie.
fine.
oh,
That's
you're
fine.
good. You
Yeah,
can
Yeah.
cover me up.
yeah, man. All those guys, and they do a good time, guys. On their Instagram too. They're gonna see the poster. You're able to click their actual name and then follow them on Instagram too, man. Last words, Charlie.
Follow us. Go buy your tickets. It's gonna be
Pick
a
a
good
name.
show.
Pick a name,
Pick
get a
a name.
ticket, come check it out. You're
Um,
streaming it, but you want to be there live.
Yes.
yeah, you don't want to miss it. It's gonna be a lot of
Yeah, man, and I'm gonna be out there. If you guys see me at the venue, say what's up, man. I like meeting people and getting to know everybody. I'm sure a lot of the fighters are excited to be out there too, man. But everybody out there, appreciate your guys' time and support. All the fighters, hope you guys have a great, safe week. No issues with cut waiting. Please take care of yourselves. I'm excited to see all of you guys fight. So make sure you guys are taking care of yourself and being professional when it comes to that. With that being said, Rise of the Empire, 29th, Pan Am. Get your tickets. Follow us on our socials, man. Thank you guys so much for having me, man. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Thank
Let's
you.
do it, man.
Peace out. Peace out, guys. Y'all take care.
Thank you.
Till next time. Peace.